The only thing she can compare it to is she pulled up some sound. She said if you mix a silverback gorilla and the roar of a lion, magnify it like 10 times the power, she said you might have close to what I heard that screamed at her or yelled at her.
Well, it's your boy Dustin from the Flying Chairs, the Rise podcast. And I got a special guest today. We got Kristen, and she's a fucking Bigfoot hunter. We haven't had too many Bigfoot hunters on here in a long time, actually. It's been ghosts and UFOs lately, so I'm excited to talk about Bigfoot a little bit. And she also is a UFO enthusiast. So, again, we're just going to kick the shit today because we're having fun. It's a Friday. And yeah, I want you to just tell me where you grew up and how you got into the field.
Alrighty, so I grew up in a little town in Elberton, Georgia, tiny little town, born and raised. I've left, I've come back. Same old, same old. It's where I grew up, so it's home for me. But at the age of 16, I played in a country band. I played guitar. Yeah. So I got into it Bigfooting when we were on break from band practice, when Bigfoot and I just kind of had a run in, kind of crazy.
Okay, let's hear more about this story here about the run-in with Bigfoot.
So, so on our little break from band practice, Susie, which was the wife of the lead singer, now she is in her 50s, so it's not like we're a bunch of kids running around having fun out in the woods. I was the youngest one in the group, so 16 years old. Everyone else in their 50s on up. But I was like, hey, let's go look at the eagle's nest. On my parents' property was several eagles' nests. If you go, it was 30 acres straight back in the woods that ended up, it was creek on one side of the property, kind of bordered. The other side is it's nothing but woods. But right at the back corner, if you stood right out on the edge, you could look out over the water and see eagle's nest. And every now and then you'd catch an eagle flying over you. So, I mean, it's pretty cool to look at. So,
yeah.
of course, we had told her about, and she was like, yeah, we'll go look. Well, this time we were like, all right, let's hop on the four-wheeler. We got about 30 minutes, 45 minutes. Everybody's going to sit around, talk and eat, and let's go check out the nest. So her and I head down that way, absolutely cutting up, just laughing. And once you get to the edge of the ridge, it's a pretty steep hill. You have to walk down a little pig path from the four-wheeler path, and it kind of flattens out and it's right out on the corner. So we'd walked to the corner and we're looking, and I was showing her the nest, and well, the woods got a little quiet. Yeah, it kind of changed, and we noticed it, but really didn't pay it any attention. So we were sitting there talking, looking. All of a sudden, we heard something crashing through the woods coming towards us. Now, the weather was warm. It was summer, so all the leaves were on the trees. You couldn't quite see through the leaves and through the trees that far, not in a thick forest. So we heard something coming towards us. You didn't see anything to start with, but we heard it. And then as it got closer, you could see the smaller trees kind of moving back and forth as it's coming towards us.
Oh, shit.
So, yeah, that's what we were thinking. So forget the eagles at this point.
Yeah, what's like make something big is moving through the woods there.
Right. It went from a happy little outing to uh-oh. So we turn around, we're looking, something comes between us and the four-wheeler. And it's standing far enough up in the woods where you can't see anything, but you can see this massive darkness, just like blocking out the sun. It's covering up all the, there's something there. It's huge. And I'm not a good judge with distance or anything, but or size, but I compared this size to I've been up against the UGA football players with all their gear on. I mean, they're pretty big. They're big boys.
Big guys. Yeah.
And then you add on the shoulder pads and they just get wider. So I would compare the size to one of them width-wise, except a little bit taller,
Okay.
give or take. So I'm sitting there looking at this massive dark object standing upright. It's not on four legs because we have bear there. We've seen plenty bear. I'm used to bear, not a bear. It's not another hunter in a ghillie suit or not another hunter at all. It's too big, too big. So she's sitting there. She's like, oh my gosh, we're going to die. We're going to die. She's screaming. She grabs me and pulls me out in front of her like a shield. And I'm like, oh no. She offered me up for sacrifice now.
That's so bogus.
And then she's still screaming. She's got a hold to me. She's still screaming, we're gonna die. And she's crying. I'm not saying a word because I'm sitting here looking at this thing in front of me and I'm thinking, this may be it. I'm probably dead because I can't go forward. That's where that thing is, which is between us and the four-wheeler. I can't go backwards. There's nothing but water. I'm stuck. So,
Oh,
I
that's
mean,
fucking terrifying.
it is, and it's hilarious now. Absolutely hilarious. At
Fair.
that point, it was not funny. I was horrified. I mean, this is something that's given me nightmares about. But it stands there. It doesn't make a noise. It's there for probably 30, 40 seconds, what feels like an hour.
Hmm.
But this thing, it's quiet, doesn't make a noise, but it turns and it starts to walk off. I mean, going in the same direction that it was coming from, and it just walks off. But as it's walking through the woods, it has to cross that little pig path that we come down. And when it crosses, its arm comes out. Now, I'm sure the rest of the body was in there too, but what my eyes focused on was that arm and that hand. Now, can I say 100% I saw a Bigfoot? No, because I didn't see the face. I saw the mass and bulk of it, but I didn't see detail
Sure.
except for the hand and the arm.
Yeah.
And that's what stuck with me. And it walked off like nothing. Um,
Huh.
I don't know what kind of animal would do that. It wasn't a human.
No.
And I mean, the only thing I can conclude was we saw Bigfoot.
Yeah.
But
I'd
yeah,
say,
yeah,
especially if your friend was reacting the same way you were, right?
right. And she's, like I said, I was 16 and she was in her 50s. So it's not like we're
Oh,
teenagers
dang.
playing
Right,
around,
right,
out
right.
there and we had scared each other. No, it
Well,
was
how
crazy.
even more bogus that she's even older than you, throwing you in front of her like a shield.
Right. She didn't want to die either.
I guess not. I
But
have more life to live.
get her.
Yeah, right. She's only 16.
Right, right. She
Yeah.
she hasn't experienced nothing. She's good to go. Me, I still have living. No.
Yeah.
No,
Jesus.
we took off running. I mean, once that thing was gone, we ran, we jumped on the four-wheeler and we were gone. And
Again,
uh,
too, like again, just remembering the arm and the hand, I think the shock factor maybe blocked some of it that you might have saw even more. The
right.
fact that like the shock kind of overweighs like what you saw, and you kind of did
Right.
just focus on that, and you did just dip as after seeing that.
Yeah. Yeah, when we heard it walk off, coming towards us, it was like crashing through the woods. It was making itself obvious. Now, when it walked off, you could barely hear it going. Like
Ooh,
it was quiet. It was super
sure.
quiet walking off.
Hmm.
But we waited there for, I don't know, a minute maybe and just made sure it was gone. And we headed back. So of course, we get back where they're making music at and they were all going back in and we come up screaming and hollering and they're like, oh my gosh, no, you saw a bear. It was probably a bobcat. We're like, no. They're like, yes. We're like, no.
Yeah. No, you know what you saw.
Yeah.
And the fact that like you were so shocked and blown away by it, and the fact that you still remember it to this day.
Oh, I
And
still
I
have
think
nightmares to this day about
mhm.
that night or evening, I guess you call
Well,
it.
and it's cool that it intrigued your interest too.
It did.
Okay, let's see what's happening here. Do you know if Native Americans in that area have been talking about Bigfoot, or did you talk to any of those?
Now,
Um,
not any Native Americans, but as far as the history, about 4 miles up the road, there's an area that the locals would call Ghost Holler. And there was a white Bigfoot scene. And the hunters would go back in there and hunt, and they would get stalked by what they would call the ghost. And so the little area become known as Ghost Holler. And so I thought that was kind of interesting. What I saw wasn't white, but it could be some family.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting. And I was gonna say too, I know a guy named, well, he's passed away, but his name is John Two Birds. I haven't met him personally or anything, but I just know of him and talking about Bigfoot. And he talks about if you go out in the woods looking for Bigfoot, there's little tips that he would give out as his Native American. Like, you view an area and then like get everything, you like count all the trees, the bushes, and all that, and you go like the next day or a few days later, go back to the same area and see if all that stuff was there still.
Oh,
Right, one of those things might be just gone. Like a tree might be
huh.
just totally missing out of that.
Uh-huh.
Maybe if you get to, jot it down on a piece of paper to actually, visit. Maybe they give me a picture of that area too. Maybe
Yeah.
like
And then they're
and going back and seeing like, whoa, that tree is totally gone without even like even being a tree there. You know what I'm saying? It could have been
yeah.
like a Bigfoot in a sense. Always keeping an eye out, or getting somewhat close to. And then there are the interdimensional theories of
Yes.
Bigfoot, of with orbs too, the lights in the sky, even with UFOs. Yeah, it's a big mystery. Like
I know. And it all starts to kind of intertwine together.
yeah, it does. Why wouldn't they? Like, why wouldn't aliens know there's crazy shit on here? Or maybe they created that shit to like fuck with us, you know?
Right?
Again, I
Yeah.
always I always go to the theory that aliens like to just fuck with us in a sense. If say
Why
you
not?
and me went to a planet, we got like a godlike status right away, and we're like, all right, let's pick one of these guys right here to be like, the leader of giving him all the knowledge. And when we leave, he'd be like the cult leader. Like
Right.
he's gonna like, yeah, see, they were talking to me because I'm important. But it was just like a janitor or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
You're the cult leader over there, janitor over here.
yeah, exactly right. No, it's just like how we could just easily just do that, just for our own shits and gigs, our own agendas, or just our own um I don't know. I feel like this some of that is in the play too. Like, why wouldn't they just, you have some teenager ETs going like, yeah, fuck yeah, we're gonna fuck around with these people. And these back in the
Exactly.
day, we're throwing eggs and shit at people. Holy Christ.
I know. I know it. I know it. But I mean, we've had some sightings of lights in the sky above
Yeah, let's
the
hear
house.
about
Yeah, I
this.
mean, you have weird stuff, but um it wasn't long after we moved down there. Of course, it was nothing but woods when my parents bought the place. So they had to
Okay.
clear out a place for the home. And
Oh
it
wow.
wasn't that long after we moved in to where there was a light going over the sky. We actually reported that to, I believe was it MUFON back then? But
Huh?
we would have lights over the sky that wasn't satellites. I mean, we're pretty familiar with satellites and the way things move, and these huge balls of light they were unexplained. So we're going with UFO possibly. Um,
Yeah.
and Bigfoot, I mean, gosh, we moved in and my mom was screamed at on the back porch. And the only thing she can compare it to is she pulled up some sound. She said, if you mix a silverback gorilla and the roar of a lion, magnify it like 10 times the power, she said, you might have close to what I heard that screamed at her
Wow.
or yelled at her. And,
Oh,
that kind of sent like little spidey senses on her. I was like, what could that have been,
I would
So,
not like leave the house
yeah.
after hearing some shit like that. There's a
I was
monster out this bitch.
Exactly. Lock the doors. And she actually did. She come running in and she was locking doors and pulling the windows because it was summer. It's pretty. We were out in the country and I'm like,
Oh no.
Mama, what's wrong? I was 10, 9, 10. I
Wow.
was little, yeah. And she was like, "You are not going back outside again."
Right?
There is
Yeah.
something out there. So
Wow.
it started when we first moved there. Yeah, we would have odd things, and the neighbors would tell us that they called one of them called it the creature. The other said there was a monster in the woods.
Yeah, as it should be called. My God, it sounded like
Hmm.
that.
Yep. And then of course, my dad's like, "Oh, it's a bear," and mom's like, "I don't know." And then I saw that, and I was like, "Oh no,
It's like a
it's not a
prehistoric bear or some shit. It's
right."
still roaming
Was that
around.
gigantic Opithecus or whatever, a living one?
Yeah, or it's
It's
called the short
pretty,
faced bear or something. That's
yeah,
gigantic.
crazy,
Yeah.
crazy.
Oh man. Yeah, I know Wisconsin is a hotspot here with Bigfoot sightings and stuff like that. Barnaby Jones knows more about that than I do, but I haven't had any personal sightings. I mean, it doesn't mean I don't believe, but again, I think there is some sort of ties in between with extraterrestrials, especially with the lights and orbs that are like associated with Bigfoot sightings.
Yeah.
I love the original, was that one famous uh footage from, was it the 1970s or 60s or something? It was shot from that guy who fell off his horse and he gets on and he sees
Oh yeah,
his
but
yeah, I forgot what that case is called. Who the
are you
guy
talking
who
about the Bigfoot or like the lights? There was also a UFO sighting. Which one was it?
Oh, I was
Bigfoot
thinking of like the old, that old original footage of the, the famous
or the
Bigfoot.
Patterson? Okay, the
Yeah.
Patterson Gimlin film. Yeah,
Yes. Yes. Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
There was
Yep.
also a pretty big UFO sighting right about that time, and well,
Oh
gosh,
wow.
several too.
Oh
Some of
wow. Okay.
of course, I know you're familiar with the Phoenix Lights. That was
Yes.
one
Yes.
of the best, I believe, UFO sightings caught on camera. Then
Yes.
Patty was one of the best Bigfoots caught on camera. So,
Yes. Yeah, no, it's amazing. There is something here. And there's another funny case that I don't know exactly where it took place, but it must have been in the mountains or somewhere, where this guy gets kidnapped when he was camping by a Bigfoot, and
oh,
he brings it back to this like other female
yeah, he was
female
like held hostage
you
in
hear
the
about this?
cave.
Yeah, he's in there to like be offered for being like the sex dude to be like, all right, here we go. I'm right
Yeah,
here to hit this. I'm like, damn, what?
yes, and
Either way,
that
terrifying.
and they have like the little tent hammocks that a lot of people will camp in, and I'm like, that's a Bigfoot burrito waiting to happen.
Yeah,
He just
right.
rolled me up, tossed me over the shoulder, and we're going, no, I don't think so.
Yeah. Yeah, I never think about it that way. They can just
Yeah,
easily scoop up somebody in a sleeping bag,
yeah, you're already
tie
packaged.
you
They're
up.
gonna just grab you and go. No tent hammocks for me.
This is the knuckle dragging way.
Yes, yes, we're gonna have to work a little harder.
We hang with the toothless mountain clowns over here.
Throw me in a cave somewhere? I don't think so. I think that guy that was kidnapped by Bigfoot, he actually got away by giving them, was it tobacco or snuff or something, and made them all so sick he escaped.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's
How
pretty crazy.
genius. How
I know
genius.
that's pretty crazy. Me, I would be a
How
lot.
terrifying. Yeah, I think you would do anything. But again, like it makes you wonder, like, too, what gave him the thought that they were pursuing sex, right? It's
I
just like,
know.
it's just like, like what, was there a lot of sign language going on? What the fuck was going on?
I don't know, and I don't want to find out.
You don't want to find out. Yeah, exactly, right? Being a
Right?
woman, I can only imagine you don't
No,
have much
that's why
say.
we stick together in groups. If one goes down, we're taking everybody with us.
You feel like was it the Hendersons?
Oh, Harry and the Hendersons.
And
Oh,
yeah, he put that on for you. Is that making you hot? Intermingling with each other.
oh, ew. And they
I'm
smell
just
so
playing.
bad.
Right.
Yeah,
No, I
they
just thought that
smell
was a
so bad.
interesting, controversial story. But that's what I'm all
Yes,
about. I'm all about the controversial and
yeah,
the edge.
yeah. I think
Yeah.
something happened. I don't know what, but
Yeah. No, I told you.
he got
I'm telling.
ridiculed for it. So,
Again, these things they're very intelligent enough to elude us
mhm.
this whole time. That And the fact that if they want to like intermingle with sex, the aliens have been doing it for since the dawn of
Yeah,
time. I mean,
true.
they were
Yes.
doing it just for fun too, just for they thought women were absolutely beautiful on Earth. So I don't blame them.
Just go grab one and go.
Let's go.
Take you
Hey,
back to my shuttle.
we're human. I got the blonde hair and blue eyes too. Look at me.
You're coming with me tonight.
Yeah, right. I don't think like it would ruin your sex with any other man on earth though. So,
Oh, yeah.
you think so?
Yeah, that'd be a little odd. Have
Yeah.
to do some
It's like
regression therapy to,
the sex that I just had with the ET was out of this world. Now this guy from Earth is mediocre.
yeah, no, take me back up.
Get me back up.
Beam me back up. Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Well, have you ever been abducted or
Hmm.
possibly taken or anything like that? Or any contact? No.
No, no. Actually, just recently, my only, I don't know if you saw on Facebook, I posted a video that I took on May. Oh, I'm sorry. Was it March? Yeah, March. Uh, no. Was the last month? May? Yeah, Jesus Christ. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
May 21st. I'm getting all confused. May 21st. There was a humongous storm here, like windstorm. It was almost like a
Mhm.
tornado, but there's tons of lightning and stuff. Like, oh, it'd be awesome if I catch some lightning in
Right.
slow motion mode on my iPhone. So I run outside with my iPhone in slow motion mode. It took like a 30-second video and caught some awesome lightning. Oh, I got some. So I run back inside before it starts all raining on me and shit. And I look, and there's a UFO just straight up comes in and shoots straight up, and I'm like, no way. And I'll just play it back and forth. You zoom up in it, and there's like the object's shadow is like bouncing off the clouds. That's so close to the clouds that you can see. And the lightning is even like make it more. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
So I put it on Facebook, and it's up to 35.3 thousand views. Still
Ooh.
climbing. Yeah, it's just going viral. And everybody's like, you
Wow.
gotta send it to MoveOn. And I think one of the directors reached out to me and said, yeah, send it to MoveOn because I guess MoveOn has all different states have different network no, headquarters or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
So they focus on each state and stuff. So actually, I emailed this guy back today who was asking more questions about the video. I sounded very intrigued. So I'm like, yes. So
Yeah, you
blow
caught
that
something.
guy's mind. Um, so
You
yeah,
got
hopefully
this.
he'll get back to me with more answers on his conclusion if unidentified. Very unidentified to me. And I think it was perfect too that a leaf is being blown off the branch and like the UFO almost intersects with this leaf. But the leaf gives it great like reference to size and speed. And it's like the wind was blowing about 50 miles per hour or more. Enough for like that leaf, even like in regular mode, that leaf is barely in the video. And then definitely the UFO is definitely not in the video, just playing in regular mode. So it's only seen in slow motion mode.
Yeah. So it's
It's just
flying.
just and then some
It,
stars. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
it's crazy that you caught that. Like you would have never known it if you hadn't played it
Shot in the
back.
dark.
I mean, right,
Shot in the dark.
right. So there's no telling how many UFOs and UAVs, whatever you want to call them, we see and just do not even realize it.
Yes, actually, we had a guest on here when we early started this podcast. It was one of our first guests, and he coined this word, the invisible highway. And that's a great word when you like if you think about it. It's just there's a constant flow of UFOs in our sky constantly. And he was saying because he realized this when he was taking golf swings that he wanted to like practice his form. So he was putting his camera down on slow motion mode, aiming at him in the sky, obviously. And he sees this object comes flying by and he's like, what the hell is that? And this blows
Oh,
his mind. And he starts concentrating on the sky with his camera. And he's just got tons of footage of all these weird objects just coming out of nowhere, popping out of clouds, in and out of clouds, zigzagging and just doing weird maneuvers. Um, yeah, and he even like encouraged me to start doing this. Like, and I did this another time before with other smaller objects. But I guess the other one that I caught recently is the best one by far. Just because you can see the shape of a disc
Yeah.
and the shadow off the clouds. It's just makes my skin just fucking go crawling. So, so
Right.
again, it was even more reassuring to have people like agree with me that that's a real UFO. I know
It's
this.
something. I
Yeah, it's
mean,
something.
it's
Yeah,
something. Yes.
yeah. I hope
Yes.
you, if you haven't seen it already, check it
Yeah.
out on Facebook.
It's pretty cool. I did see
Yeah.
that.
Oh, cool.
Just post like a follow up of, MUFON's reply. That'll be interesting to see how they break the video down. But I mean, that you've got something and it's unidentified, it's flying, and it's an object. So I'm going with UFO.
Yeah, I say it's a UFO.
UFO.
There's no snake in my boot. So I love your accent, by the way.
I'm
That
from
is so,
Georgia, so I can't help
yeah.
it.
No, I
It's really
love it. No, I love it. Don't ever
that.
stop that Georgia accent.
I don't think it's going anywhere. It's here to stay.
That's awesome. So it's like, does Georgia have like any big UFO hotspots or hotspots for Bigfoot in general, like national state parks? Or, I know there's lots of like mountain ranges too, right?
Yeah, yeah. The northeast Georgia has actually it's a lot of sightings. A lot of well, you get the Bigfoot and UFOs. You get a mixture of them.
Mhm.
It seems to be more like Bigfoot though, and even now some dogmen report. So
Oh,
you really you don't know what you're going to find out there, but more so Bigfoot. But also I think because Bigfoot is almost like the craze now. I mean, everywhere you go in North Georgia, if you go to the mountains like towards Helen and like up in White County, there's been several sightings there. So any store you go in, there's going to be a Bigfoot sticker or a
oh,
Bigfoot sign. So it's kind of becoming popular. And I think that's why you're hearing more Bigfoot versus UFO, Dogman, or
sure,
other
sure,
weirdness.
sure. Is there like the skunk ape down there too? It's like
Oh,
another
Skunk Cape is more Florida, a little bit
Florida. Okay.
more south. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes. But no, we've just got a straight up Bigfoot.
the Bigfoot, the Sasquatch,
The Sasquatch.
the
Yes.
Yeti, the Abominable Snowman. I love how there's so many different names for them.
I know
You know,
it's the same
that's so
thing.
cool,
Yeah.
especially all different
And
cultures. Yeah, like
uh-huh.
especially up in the was it the what's the eastern, like the Yeti, where he's found, what mountain ranges is that? I don't know.
More
I don't know the
north.
names of those are, but
Yeah.
again, it's just the fact that he's worldwide. I think the only place he's not found is Hawaii or something like that, right?
Yeah. I think even Australia has had a sighting or two, I believe. But yeah, I mean, he's everywhere.
Yeah,
He's everywhere.
yeah, you're right. And then yeah, I've been having a lot of guests from Australia. It's pretty cool, actually. I like discussing a lot of they have a lot of crazy stuff there, especially with the indigenous. I always like to talk about the boomerang. It always blows my mind, like how the indigenous uh, created that or was given help, at least in my eyes, was given help by ancient astronauts on that one.
Uh-huh.
Because I think it'd be too hungry or too something to think about the aerodynamics of a weapon that misses its target, comes back to you,
I know. I
and you
know.
can use it again. Like, oh,
How awesome would that be?
yeah, right. Like
A simple
this shit.
boomerang.
And yeah, this shit was like made when they were all drinking from the same water hole as the animals. It's like,
Yes,
what the fuck?
crazy.
Get the fuck out of here.
It's
And then
crazy.
yeah, it is. Well, again, there's all these ancient mysteries and uh cargo cults and all this shit.
We could go way down a rabbit hole on
We
that.
can go all the way down if we really want to.
All the way.
All the way. We're having fun today.
Yes, yes, yes.
Um,
I have
have you,
kind of a cool I wouldn't say it's a UFO, it's a something kind of story if you're
sure,
interested in it. And
please. This is your
Jessica
podium, girl. Tell me your
Jessica may
story.
have even spoken about it some.
Oh yeah, I was gonna ask you how you guys met each other in the first
Yeah,
place.
so
Because Jessica
Jessica
Jones
Jones,
is
I know she's been on
amazing.
yeah, she's awesome. I know she's been on your show what twice now. What was it twice?
Twice. Yeah,
Was it
twice.
twice? Yeah.
I
And
think it's
so
twice. Yes. I want her. Yes, I want her for a third time.
okay, yeah.
I want
So
her back.
she I mean
She's a
she's
busy girl though.
yeah, she's everywhere, everywhere. But um our one of our groups that we're actually both a part of is it's called the Meadow Project.
Oh, cool.
So down here in the South, we're investigating. It's an area that's just full of strangeness, high strangeness. I mean, you get a mixture of Bigfoot, you get a mixture of Dogman, you get a mixture of weird deaths, UFOs, and now possibly interdimensional activity going on.
Ooh.
Yeah, I don't know if you've heard of what's called the Meadow Project or not, but
Mm.
it's it's been a few years, but we had a encounter with a I hate to say a portal. I always hate to say it was X, Y, or Z when I'm like, yeah, I don't know either. That's why I'm out here doing this stuff. But
Hmm.
like a portal, it was a cube, it was a box.
Hmm. Jessica
Yeah,
Jones talked about this with us.
yeah. So
You can tell us more about it, recap on it.
yeah, so I actually filmed something in the middle of a field that appeared on thermal, but not to the naked eye. It was witnessed by several members of our team. And when this box, cube, portal, whatever you want to call it, it was the shape of a huge box with an upside down cross beside it. When it started to dissipate, we actually sent some team members towards it. Um, and before the box cube portal, I'm just called a cube for now. Before the cube appeared, I actually had my eye on this entity standing kind of in front of me that I was thinking was our team members, but it was single and then it morphed into two.
Mm.
So, I mean, in my logical mind, I'm thinking, okay, a team member standing in front of another team member. One steps out, oh, it goes to two people, right? But it actually, come to find out, was not any of us. So at that same time, this cube appeared, and another team member got my attention, said, hey, will you check this out with your thermal? And I was like, sure. I'm like, I really hate to not look at this thing in front of me that I can't figure out, but okay. And then I flip over and find this cube, and it's lit up, it's glowing. I can't see it with the naked eye. Um, and then it starts to kind of disappear. It's almost like when I hit it and started recording, it started to go away.
Whoa.
So, couple team members went in, and I watched them basically disappear right in front of my eyes. I mean, they just vanished. I was thinking, hey, they're walking off into the wood line. And matter of fact, my teammate, he's like, did they just disappear? And I'm like, I think they walked in the woods. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, because that's the only thing that makes sense. And I didn't know it at the time, but when they were disappearing, they were noticing that the environment around them, the atmosphere was changing. Oh, they walked in, yeah, there was nothing in front of them. But then once they got into where the cube was, they said it was like a black curtain pulled down in front of their face. Atmosphere changed. They really couldn't see the stars anymore, like complete change. So they did an about face once they realized something's not right and come back out. And as they're reappearing on my thermal, you can see them going from nothing to forming to like a human form.
Whoa.
They said that they were like tripping over briars and brush, and that wasn't there when they walked in. Yeah,
Weird. Okay.
so not sure what they walked into, but
So the
it's
fact that they even realized that they walked
strange.
into something that
Yeah,
like put a veil over their eyes,
right.
like a
And we went back after this happened and actually tried to debunk this cube, which we
okay.
couldn't do. I mean, we filmed that area multiple times. We cannot, we haven't seen it. Um, and also got the guys to walk back in the same area and actually went deep in the woods, and you can track them. They do not just disappear. You know, the woods are very sparse, and there wasn't any leaves on the trees to block the thermal. So they straight up disappeared right in front of my eyes.
Do you think there was loss of time, even if it was a short period of time on their
You know, it
part?
could have
No.
been. I mean, it could have
Hmm.
been. It's hard to
That's
say.
interesting.
Yeah.
Because
And
Yeah, because porters do weird ass shit, especially if you're in there for a long time. And I
Right.
heard this one case too where it's not really a portal, but there's a UFO. This is like a military project where like they had this UFO and they had this military guy go in it, and he said it like this UFO is about 30 feet long and it's not that big. But when he walked in it, it turned into like gigantic stadium, like it's humongous. Like he's like he just felt totally dwarfed when he got into this thing that was just only
Huh.
30 feet big, you know. And he's just like he got dizzy and he like wanted to vomit and shit. And he was only in there for 5 minutes or less. And he said, and like the people outside when he got out, it was like 4 hours passed.
Oh, there was a
So
major loss of time.
yeah. And the
Yeah.
fact that he felt so sick and like the whole room is like spinning, he said, but the whole room itself was so gigantic. He just couldn't like fathom. I think that was like a breaking point where like, okay, I stepped into something really tiny, but now I'm in this humongous,
Right.
gigantic room, like totally how a
Yeah.
portal would probably be like, right?
Right. Yeah,
In
is
a
it
sense.
another dimension, alternate
Or another
reality?
dimension.
Who knows?
Exactly, right.
Yeah,
And the
who knows?
loss of time too. Like that's a big factor.
I don't
So
even know if we considered time at that point. And yeah,
sure.
really, there's no way going back to checking
No,
guys' watches. But
I think you would be shocked in the first place where dudes are disappearing on your
right.
radar and shit. Like,
Yeah.
dude's gone.
Where'd you go? Where'd you
and he's and then he comes reporting back, yeah, there's a weird veil over my eyes where I can't see
go?
shit. And I'm
Yeah,
tripping over shit.
thing. I can't see anything. Yeah, thank
Oh,
goodness they
whoa.
come back out because we've often wondered what would have happened if they kept walking and whatever, if it was a portal, what would have happened if that thing closed?
Yeah. Then that dude's gone.
Yeah, would they
Yeah.
wouldn't be here? We don't know. So, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we've in the same area we've had strange lights. One of the guys that actually walked into what I call the cube, um, watched a huge light come up over him and he's like, "Oh, that's pretty," he thought it was the moon. He's like, "Wait a minute, that's not the moon, there's the moon." And it
Mm.
kind of like got big and small and then almost like this dark center started appearing until it blinked out of existence. And that's the same area. Um,
Huh.
we've had lots of unexplained lights, disembodied voices. It's just crazy in this area.
Ah, it's
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah, I went looking for a Bigfoot and ended up walking out
Yeah.
it's a paranormal alien. I don't know,
Yeah,
whatever,
that's
whatever weirdness comes
maybe like
inside of me, I'll
a
research.
vortex maybe too.
Yeah.
Because we have here in Wisconsin an area called it's called Burlington, Wisconsin. But there's an area I don't know where the name of the forest, unfortunately, but there's a woman who takes people on tours out there to go to a certain part of this forest, and you start taking pictures with your digital or Polaroid camera, and all the pictures would come out swirly, or orbs would become flying every which way, and then there'd be like maybe like triple, you know, images of you in the one picture when you're
That's
just sitting still. It's like
crazy.
really weird, funky place. I think there might have been Bigfoot sightings there too. Yeah,
Yeah.
just
They seem to go hand in hand.
serious. Yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
places
why
that have
not?
a lot of Bigfoot activities, and it's a lot of ET activity going on too.
Yeah.
It's
There's a guy here in Poland, Wisconsin, that claims that UFOs have been landing and hovering on his property for years, so much so that he built a gigantic spaceport to attract them more and shit. And yeah, and he
whoa,
has people come to his property and he takes them on tours and tells people his story. I'll pull it up
that's
quick.
insane.
This is the thing here.
No way,
The
UFO landing port. That
yeah,
is awesome.
yeah, cool.
Yes.
So it's like a little mini Skidwalker Ranch here in Wisconsin.
Yes.
So this guy, yeah, he built this thing to attract them. So I think he got him hooked up with satellite TV, a George Foreman grill. Um, what else did he have up
George
there?
Foreman grill.
I don't know. Something to make a alien comfortable.
Yeah. Here's a fridge of beer and a George Foreman grill. Help yourself.
Yeah, there we go. And this is for those who are in Wisconsin or in the area
Oh,
and want to
goodness.
go knock on Bob's door, maybe you should call the
Oh
guy.
my gosh.
And yeah,
Bob seems like a cool person. I
I
want
wanna
to
I
meet
wanna
Bob.
meet Bob.
I need to meet Bob. That is
uh,
so cool. Well,
yeah,
he put some money in that apparently, so there must be something. He
and
must have
again,
got
a
something out of
drive to build this enough. Like if he's witnessing, I mean, he's not the only one. Like Elmwood is like littered, I should say peppered with like plaques of UFO sightings and stuff like that.
it.
Let's see,
That's so cool. Yeah, he had to have
like
seen some.
this is in Elmwood.
Oh,
Hobbs Wilson had a famous sighting of this object. It kind of looks like a giant marshmallow with tripod legs. It landed on
wow.
his property. But again, this whole town is just decked out and like signs
Huh.
like this.
That's,
Again,
oh my
here we go.
gosh, there's more.
There's more. There's actually a school bus tour that takes people to all these spots around town and is going to take a look at
Wow.
these plaques and tell the stories and stuff like that.
That it makes you wonder, oh,
And
what
this
is
is
attracting these little aliens to this spot?
yeah, and this is Bill Benson. He owns Benson's Hideaway. It's like a little UFO headquarters in Dundee. I met this guy. He recently passed away last year,
Oh,
sadly. He was the owner of this bar that's like walking in there, it's like X-Files, like old news clippings
yes.
and just, alien everything.
That's cool.
And everybody who's in the bar is talking about aliens. I'm like, yes, this
So
is
cool.
this is home.
Yeah, that is your home.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
that is
then
so awesome.
Bill, Bill actually, yeah, this is the sign out there.
Payton's.
He had his own photo album of original photos that he took over Long Lake. This bar is connected right off the lake, so actually boats can park their boats and get some food and drinks.
Nice.
Um, yeah, apparently there's been UFOs flying over that lake for hundreds of years too. So again, he's got this album. He's like, here, look at this. Holy cow! All right,
And you
you're
said he
serious.
passed away.
Yeah,
He
it's
passed.
Dundee, Wisconsin. It's about an hour and 45 minutes away from Madison.
Wow.
It's
I
not too
wonder what
far.
happened to all this stuff. Like, is the bar still open? I wonder. Or are they?
Yeah, the bar's still open.
That's cool.
Yeah, they don't do they might be not doing the UFO days anymore parade.
Hmm.
That's sad. But yeah, his kids are running the bar. So
Good.
I'm sure UFO talk will still be going on there.
As
Why
you
not? You got to
would.
keep Bill alive somehow.
Yep. Yes. You can't let that legend die. Nope.
Yeah. And then again, there's a lot of famous cases that came out of here. I have some photographs, um, Mark Coltrane, he's a police officer in Colfax, Wisconsin. Uh, that's from the Colonel Wendell Stevens auction bid that I got out of. Uh, yeah, so he was sitting in his car eating lunch, listening to the radio, and then he notices his radio is crickling in and out. And he just looked at the sky and he sees this metallic object zigzagging towards him. And he happened to have his camera, grabs it, jumps out of his car, and takes a series of photographs. I only had two of the photographs of like I think the six that he took or more. I think a lot of it was just the sky because the thing was zigzagging as much. Actually, I grabbed the photographs really quick while I'm talking
Yes.
about them.
Please.
Yeah, Wendell went to go visit Mark and just get a report from him. Here we go. And it's me holding the photograph, the
Oh,
original photograph there.
there. Look at my
Nice
photograph.
little shiny disc there, just chilling.
It is.
And there's the other one.
Oh, and there it is. Stop. I went inside.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And
And
there's
there it is. And back
kind of
in
looks like
those days, the cameras, everybody has a cell phone now, so
yes.
oh
Yeah,
cool.
back in the day, like you're just lucky to catch this thing that was moving
Yeah.
super fast, zigzagging. You know this case, Paul Simonton.
I do not, but that is
This is an
intriguing.
this is an Eagle River. Wisconsin. This is way up north. And this guy, this guy, he was in his kitchen eating breakfast, and it was about 10 or 11 o'clock in the morning. And he just happened to look out his window and he sees this gray silver saucer just coming down like an elevator in front of his driveway. He's like, what the fuck? He runs out and this door opens and there's like this man that comes out wearing a blue tight jumpsuit, and he had like olive skin, kind of looked like an Italian man, and he had really penetrating eyes where Joe couldn't really look at him straight. And this alien had an empty like pitcher of water, or empty like pitcher for water or something,
Okay.
for some kind of liquid. And Joe's like, do you want water? And he's like, hands it off to him. And then he gets some water and he gets back and gives the guy the jug of water to the alien. He noticed there's two other men inside this craft that were over this flat, flameless grill type thing, cooking these pancakes that he's holding in his hand. And this guy who he gave the water to like grabs like four pancakes to this Joe and hands it to him for the exchange of water. And he's like, what the fuck? He's trying to like communicate with them, but no one's saying a word. He's being like screaming, like, hey guys, what the hell is going on? What is this? Where you come from? Like, is the
So
fact that they were so
confused.
human. I think the fact that he was trying to ask more questions,
Uh-huh.
the fact that maybe the penetrating eyes was really off human, maybe, I don't know. But yeah, he's like, do you want me to eat this? So he took a bite of one of them. He said it tastes like a piece of cardboard. So he's like, okay. And like, I guess the guy hopped back into the UFO and it closed and it like tilted and it shot up like a like a bullet
Oh,
shot from a gun. He's like, what? So he's standing there with these hot, greasy pancakes in hand. So he calls out the authorities, makes a report, and he gets these pancakes analyzed by scientists. And they find out that they're regular buckwheat pancakes, but didn't have any trace of salt. That's the kicker. Everything that's
ah,
organic has a trace of salt, even us, because of the oceans. You know what I'm saying?
oh, yeah.
So these things might have made off planet because whatever planet they came from did not have salt. Doesn't mean they didn't have buckwheat. Like they
Right.
could have trees or they could have other things that, we
It's
have
like
on
on
Earth, on other
Snowman.
planets and shit like that too. And the fact they're a human too. Like we have humans seeding um the stars, or who knows. Again, this could be another, like we were saying earlier, and aliens just like to fuck with us. Like, yeah, let's
Like,
go to this guy. Let's get some water. Easily
oh,
enough we get some
refill
water
my mug.
any for ETs, for God's sake. We can sip it out of any lake. But yeah, again, the ask this guy for water for an exchange for these pancakes, and then the fact not finding the main element that you should be finding in this pancake is not there. It's just
Yeah,
like,
how would, I mean, there's no way he could physically remove that natural element. I mean, if he was making it all up, which it sounds crazy, there is no physical way that this guy here could remove sodium from your pancake.
yeah. And then not just that, there's other witnesses that saw a UFO that night too,
Oh, that's,
over in Eagle River. So this kind of confirms that too. And then Joe writes a book about his experience. Just very, very simple story that I just told, but a little bit more in detail. But yeah, again, this makes you wonder, what are these ETs doing with agendas? Or again, is this their own for personal shits and gigs? And I don't blame him for that.
I
Because
know
I feel like I
there's
would be on that same game.
same. Well,
Yeah,
I know that there's a report of ET interaction, alien interaction, where they floated over some kind of wafer to this person, and the wafer tasted bland.
yeah.
There's more to that story,
Well,
but
you know what?
it's
I,
just floating a wafer over. Why?
you know
What?
what? I think about this only connection with this story that like makes sense, and it's like in our culture, or at least with the religious folk, is communion.
Ah, those are some bland wafers.
How the hell did communion even come about?
Huh. True.
without even because Jesus had it like he had to come with that somewhere. Like he didn't just make it up. Something came about and how it's important.
Hmm.
But yeah, it
It
just
goes
makes you
back.
think. Yeah.
Right.
Like,
Yes.
this exchange for water with the wafer is kind of maybe has some ET connections where even now religious folk would take this on as a religious experience and
Hmm.
tradition to keep
Yes.
doing this. You know what I'm saying?
Right. You
No,
do.
it's just what the fuck is going on?
Well, have you ever tasted of those wafers that they've
I
given at
have.
the Dominican
Hmm.
Communion? Absolutely bland. So maybe
Super
that's the
bland.
kind of wafer that he was talking of.
Exactly.
It
Exactly.
didn't taste like it had sodium in it either.
No, no, it's very mysterious how things just come about and we're just weird. You know how
We
the
we live in a strange world, and I know when I speak of the portal incident, that goes way off topic from Bigfoot, which
no,
does probably to
sure.
most people seem more believable. Bigfoot's everywhere. But yet, when you talk about someone disappearing in front of your eyes and there being a portal to maybe who knows where, I mean, it sounds crazy. Like if someone were to walk up to me and tell me that my friend just disappeared and this, gave the same story, be like, you okay? You feel okay? But no, I was there. I mean, yeah, people call me a little crazy sometimes, but I mean, I'm pretty sane. I'm a nurse. I've got an education. I'm a pretty normal human being, and yet I saw this, which is it's not normal, but it
Yeah,
happened.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah. No, I totally believe you too. Like again, you have multiple witnesses
yeah,
and people who are credible, like Jessica.
right,
Yeah,
right.
no, I like it's very, very intriguing. And yeah, you got to keep questioning things and just keep going down further down this rabbit hole because I think you're right. Everything is somewhat connected. Who knows? Like ETs are here since the fact that there's a theory too. They're very intrigued by our souls, and they don't even have souls. So there's a reason why they, even if our souls are reincarnating, how is that even possible? And maybe that's intriguing to them, or they're trying to harness something with our souls. Or there's been theories of like the moon is sucking up souls and being reincarnated into aliens and stuff like that. I have no idea. But
I know.
again,
I know. If we
it's
had
it gets
answers, we
pretty
wouldn't be
gnarly.
here now.
Yeah. But yeah, it makes you wonder too, like what makes us so special that we're a big beacon for other species to come visit us and do their own research. And that's why I think I'm kind of jealous of ancient man, at least in my eyes and my theories of like if they physically were interacting with these gods, like they actually get to see the shit and they
Yeah,
watch these giant boulders or I love the
maybe meditate.
scientific theory of moving these gigantic blocks, especially in Egypt, right? Like moving, what was it, 80-ton boulders across 20 miles of sand and different terrain. What healthy slave are you whipping on the back? And then you
Right.
look at their toolbox at the same time and you see fucking dental floss and chicken bones. And you're like, what the fuck is going
Yeah,
on?
they do
What
that.
is going on? It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, they did not have the machinery that we do today, and still to this day, I don't think we could do it using the boulders and
No.
cutting and chiseling, even with our stuff. But it blows your mind.
Yeah. No. And then at the same time, they chisel in that the gods were here amongst them, helping them at the same time with
That's how it was,
technology and knowledge. So it's
right?
like, man, like I'm not saying like they didn't. I'm not saying man didn't build the pyramids. I'm sure they did, but it was given technology to make it easier.
Yeah,
Because
had a little
come
help.
on, come on. Now. I'm saying like, what healthy slave are you whipping on the back? It doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah,
If it's so easy to do,
yeah,
and
they chisel their stories how we write ours.
yeah, yeah, because everything that they put on the walls was very important.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? And even like they got cats got a good reputation in Egypt. So there's something important about them. How their eyes are rare in the animal kingdom. They hiss like a snake, you know, because
Yeah,
their eyes don't. their ancestors don't have eyes like theirs. Like lions and tigers and other big cats have the nice round pupils.
Mhm.
Yeah, again, does they see something? They're different dimensions, different
I've heard that.
interdimensional things, like even orbs and uh sense death. They can sense death. Usually at a nursing home where the cats are he's
Yeah.
laying on the dude's chest. This guy's about to die.
Yes, yes. We'll
I'm
handle the
purring
credit
extra loud
part.
over here. This guy, he's
It
not handing
tonight.
out the catnip no more. He was my dude earlier.
Right, call the family in. He's like, I feel fine. No, no, no.
No, the cat
You're
knows
gonna
something's
die.
up. Yeah, no, it makes you wonder why cats were so important. You know,
Uh-huh. Yeah, there's something up with that. I've even heard like the cats were the garters to portals, and
yeah,
it goes on and on. And
yeah.
Mhm.
Hmm. Makes you wonders. Do
Yes,
you ever heard of the pug, the pug wedgie? Like you
yes,
said, got the pug wedgie. I'm actually saying it right. I
yeah.
was like, had a trouble pronouncing it. Like, what the pug? What? Pug wedgie. I think that's pretty cool. That's like the troll or the little people of North America. So that's like, and then I find out that's a Native American
Yes.
culture that we're talking about these things. That's pretty gnarly, right?
We have a team member that we think has some on thermal.
Ooh,
Yes. Now that video is wicked.
is it?
Yes,
I'm about to have you back on my show. We can show some of these videos you guys got.
yes. It wasn't my video, but I did get to
Sure.
see it. I wasn't there when he filmed it, but I know where he filmed it. I mean, very credible researcher, and you can see these little what I call dwarfs. Like, was it the Cinderella and the Seven Dwarfs? No, that's
Yeah,
not. Anyway, the little dwarf people.
yeah, yeah,
Like the cartoon, how they just kind of bobble around. You can see them kind of walking down the hill. It's more than one. I can't remember if it was like three of them, but they're just kind of like walking down the hill, and then they like jump on side of a tree and then jump off and running around. I mean, it's clear that they have a head and two arms and two legs, and it's just like they're just running around playing. And then I guess when they are like, uh-oh, human, they take off and gone. But he's got a good video of them on thermal. They're just walking down the hill like, and then they take off, start playing, and jump on side of a tree, and you're like, what is this? Yeah, it's pretty wicked.
that is awesome.
So we think
We
that's
had,
what the Ouija's.
yeah, no, that's really again. I was learning a lot. We had her on our show,
Oh, cool.
if you know her.
That's a cute little Ouija.
Isn't that cute? We have we have AI art. Um, we have a program for original AI art. So that's what it popped out when we plugged in a plug widget. But yeah,
Awesome.
isn't that cute? It looked like a little Stitch.
Yes, yes. And kind of like a little gremlin in a way, like you don't
Yeah,
want to get it wet and
yeah. No,
yes.
I was very blown away to hear about the pug wedgie, and this is recently, this year, I found out that we had this here, and it's been in our Native American culture for hundreds of years, if not thousands.
Mhm.
But yeah, very mysterious. I'm actually having another woman from Iceland talk about the hidden people there. I don't know and they
Oh,
have trolls there too. I don't know if they're little people or not, but these
yeah.
hidden people live on the outskirts or they live in like interdimensional. They come pop in and out, and sometimes kidnap people. I heard like time the trees and plug and throw rocks at them or
Yeah.
some shit. Really
They're
weird shit.
nice.
Yeah, so I'm excited to hear more about these people and
Yeah, I've always heard that they're like little tricksters.
yeah, tricksters. Yeah.
Yeah, and we not saying it was a poke wedgie. We don't know what it was, but on the outing, everyone had their car antenna unscrewed and removed and like laid on the ground in the
Whoa.
middle of the night. So it's like, who did that? And no one ever owned up to it. And when we research, we're pretty serious. We're not jokesters because we all go out armed, so we don't play jokes on each other. You might get
Sure.
shot.
Yeah.
But yeah, everyone in the middle of the night had their car antennas like unscrewed, removed, and laying on the ground.
That's
So
weird.
yeah, it's very weird.
Huh.
So we just blamed it on the little people of the forest. We don't know, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
little tricksters.
those bastards.
I
Those
know.
little bastards.
Oh,
No, I'm just kidding.
but at least they didn't steal anything. I mean,
That's
they're
true.
right. So
It's
not
making an
thieves.
inconvenience to my radio.
They're not thieves.
They're not thieves.
Yeah.
They might, well, I heard they might take your kids from abusive parents. You hear
Oh,
about this?
no.
Yeah.
Really?
Susie told us more about that.
Huh.
Different, like they could be looked at in a hero sense. But yeah, she's saying that these pug wedgies are not evil, and they are just got a bad rep by the way they look. And because I guess, yeah, the Native Americans, they treat them with respect too, and still believe in them. I think one native tribe is named after them or something like that. The, I'm not exactly sure of the name, but it has Pug Wedgie in it.
Uh-huh.
Pug Wedgie. I don't know. I don't want to disrespect by saying something crazy, but yeah, no, it's very interesting. Makes you think what the hell is going on here in America
You don't
besides
know.
Bigfoot and Dogman, because we have Dogman here in Wisconsin. I don't know if you know that. There's a famous road. I forgot what the fuck it's called. It's hard. It's hard to keep up with all these names, especially when you're like, my main focus is UFOs and
Right.
like contactees and
Well,
yeah, and then
there's
then
so
I
much.
dabble into everything else, and I just don't know the names. I just know the certain um incident. I should say
Well, there's so many happenings out
so
there.
many,
So many
so
places.
fucking many.
Now if you start talking, I'd be like, oh yeah, I do know that, but
Yeah,
think of
yeah,
anything off my head.
yeah. Do
Wow, that's
you have any websites or like YouTube channels or
I
anywhere
don't.
people could contact you
I
if they
don't.
want like
I mean, I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. Facebook is you should be able to find me, Kristen Payton. It's a picture of me up there, but I don't have a website. I don't have a
okay.
YouTube. Thought about starting one, but I'm so bad about starting something, not finishing, not upkeeping it. So I'm like, I better not, because I could probably have like 1,000 messages, and then I'm like, oops, see any of them till a year later.
Well, yeah, because I'd be always down to have. I'm always looking for guest co-hosts too, if like because you seem very knowledgeable and you're especially working with a team that does this stuff. So it'd be really cool to have you on. If you ever want to join me and a guest co-host to sit on and chit
Sure,
chat with some guests of ours.
sure.
Because I have another co-host. Well, besides me and the main co-host Daniel, we
Mhm.
have Luna. But yeah, everybody's getting busy because Daniel's got multiple podcasts in Germany and Luna has other multiple jobs and she's only doing it when she's available. So again, I'm just trying to find some other fillers and some interesting people and knowledgeable people and people who actually go out in the field
Right.
like you do and
Yeah,
know some really cool people like Jessica. Actually, you and me and Jessica Jones should get up
that
on
would be
a
fun.
podcast. Can we do that? Can we
Yes,
settle
I say
on that
yes, and
one?
I think she would say yes too.
I think she'd do that in
I
a
know.
heartbeat.
I think she would. She stays pretty busy with her shows now too. So
Yeah,
I have to
yeah.
figure out a night when she's free and I'm not
Oh,
working.
she can squeeze me in.
I think.
No, I'm sure
But,
we can find some time with her.
yeah,
Yeah, I can just update you on dates and stuff like that, or future dates, and see
sounds
if you
great.
can square one with her too.
Yeah,
But yeah, future guests too, if it's right up your alley with like Bigfoot, especially
mhm.
Bigfoot. I don't know much about Bigfoot. You might have like better questions than I do when it comes to people talking about Bigfoot. And it's actually good to actually talk about Bigfoot because I haven't done that yet with anybody since I've been doing my solo stuff.
Mhm.
Because everybody's getting busy. So
I
I'm
know.
doing stuff solo. But it's fun
Yeah.
doing solo stuff, so I can be more whatever I want. It's my shit.
I'm not a solo person. I need a cohort. So
Cool. Well, hey, I think we're gonna wrap it up for today, and I'm gonna have you back on in the future here.
All
But yeah,
right.
would you stay with me for 2 more minutes?
Definitely. Thank you.
Yeah.